Hello everyone. Today I will recap you a movie titled, Good Boy. So make some tea and we'll start. You know, as they say, the rich have their own quirks. And the main character of today's film is no exception. After all, he has a man at home as a dog. At breakfast, Christian looks through Tinder and notices a girl there, whose name is Sigrid. He gets interested in her, and gives her a super like. In the evening of the same day, a man takes care of his dog, washes, brushes his teeth. And then he sends her to bed, wishing his dog good night. She obediently goes to sleep on the floor. Christian decides to write to Sigrid, who, by the way, reciprocated the guy, and falls asleep. In the morning, the girl responds to his message, and they begin to communicate regularly. She invites the guy to meet, which he is certainly happy about. Christian, dressed in a business suit, goes to the meeting place, where he drinks beer and waits for the girl, but she is still not there. Just as he is about to leave, Sigrid arrives and apologizes for being late. They communicate, but she is sometimes distracted by her phone, calling it her bad habit. From their dialogue, we learn that the girl is studying to be a psychologist at a private school and moonlights as a part-time cashier, and the guy is not busy with anything and just goes with the flow. When evening comes, the guy gathers all his will into a fist and calls the girl to his house. Agreeing, she admires Christian's house. Drinking wine, the girl wonders if the guy lives alone in such a big house. To which he replies that he lives alone, but he still has a dog. We also learn that the guy inherited the house from his deceased parents. Christian couldn't resist kissing Sigrid, but as soon as it came to lovemaking, the dog was happy to spy on the couple. Waking up after a hot night, the girl, seeing Christian's dog, loses her speech and appetite. She's leaving. Sigrid tells her friend about a strange guy she met on Tinder. It turns out that she has heard about this guy and says that he is the son of a multimillionaire. A friend convinces a girl that it's not worth leaving a rich guy because of his hobbies. And then the girls try to find out more about his oddities. It turns out that this is called a puppy game, that is, one person pretends to be a dog, and the second is the owner. And the girls come to the conclusion that they can't judge them and that people can do what they want as long as it doesn't harm others. The girlfriend leaves, and Sigrid plans to call the guy, but he is ahead of her. They apologize to each other and arrange a meeting. Christian picks up a girl from school and brings her to his home. During dinner, the girl asks about Frank, that's the dog's name. The guy says that it's completely Frank's choice to be like this, and that he has no one but Christian. And also clarifies that he should be treated like a real dog, not like a person. To get to know Frank better, she strokes him, but he becomes too insistent, which she clearly does not like. Christian screams and chases the dog away. After apologizing to the girl, they continue to get to know each other better. The guy says that he always had a lot of friends, but everyone was friends with him only for the sake of new toys and sweets, only Frank was not interested in it. He was the only real friend. In the morning, the guy takes Sigrid to school. During the break, her friend runs up to her and finds out that the girl has started dating the millionaire's son after all. She says people like him are used to getting what they want, and if it's easy, he'll get tired of it quickly. When Sigrid meets Christian again, he invites her to bed. The girl, on the advice of her friend, refuses, but in the end she cannot resist. When they finish, the guy calls the girl to his house, which is located outside the city. Sigrid, Christian and Frank have arrived and come into the house. The girl is often distracted by the phone, which the guy does not like, and he offers her to spend time without phones, and also says that they will have a great time together without them. She gives him her phone, and Christian hides it without saying where. The girl is playing with Frank. When the guy goes for another bottle of wine, Frank, taking advantage of the moment, takes off his mask and asks the girl to help him, warning that Christian is crazy, and she needs to leave urgently. When the guy returns with the wine, the girl is clearly no longer having fun. And she says she wants to sleep. Waking up, the girl goes down to the first floor and finds that the front door is locked. When she starts looking for the keys in her pockets, Christian appears and asks what the girl is doing. And also lets her know that he always closes the doors at night so that no one can get in and out. At the same time laughing. That's the kind of joker he is. He's going for a walk with Sigrid. Admiring the beautiful view, the girl asks the guy to give her a spare key to the house so that she does not have to wake him up in the morning. But he says he only has one key and that she can wake him up if she needs it. And whether from stress, or from something else, the girl has nausea. She has no appetite during dinner. She asks the guy for her phone, explaining that her mother is sick. She wants to call and find out about her health. He brings the phone, but does not give it to her and tells her to talk to her mother on speakerphone. After calling, Mom says that everything is fine with her. Christian calls Sigrid too dependent on the phone, takes it away and hides it again. The girl shows a desire to take Frank for a walk so that they can get to know each other better, and Christian at this time would come up with something to do after their return. During the walk, the girl tries to find out from Frank the details about his condition. But he asks her to keep her voice down, as Christian can watch them. When he asks if the girl has come up with a plan to leave, she says they can run away right now. To which Frank replies that he would rather die than be caught while escaping. It would be better to attack him while he sleeps. But the girl says she definitely won't do it. Returning to the house, the girl takes the opportunity, takes a kitchen knife and hides it under her pillow. After a couple of seconds, Christian arrives. He is going to change the bed linen. But the girl says she will change it herself. The guy doesn't like this idea, but she barely managed to convince him. Sigrid takes a shower, and Christian knocks on the door to an already very scared girl, saying that they need to talk. When she comes into the bedroom, he asks with a serious face, "What's wrong with the bed?" Sigrid is shaking, not knowing what to say. Then the guy furiously says that the bed linen is all in folds and that next time he will make the bed himself. And then he starts laughing and saying it was a joke. Suddenly, Christian begins to molest the girl, kissing her, but now she is clearly not up to it. She slaps the guy and he leaves. During dinner, Sigrid becomes ill and loses consciousness. The guy picks her up and takes her to the bedroom. When the girl wakes up, she puts her hand under the pillow, but the knife is no longer there. Christian also woke up and tells the girl that he wants to show her something. He asks Sigrid if she knows why he brought her to a country house. The girl denies everything, and then the guy turns on a recording of the conversation, where Frank tells her everything and convinces her to attack Christian. And then the guy pulls out a knife that he found under the pillow and says that he is very disappointed. He takes her to the room where Frank is sitting and says that he told him everything himself, like a faithful dog. Christian puts his hand into the cage, but Frank bites him, breaks out of the cage and attacks his master. Christian wins the fight. Then Sigrid, taking advantage of the moment, takes the keys to the house and runs away. When Christian notices that she is missing, he panics. He takes Frank and takes him on a leash to the barn, where he begins to mock him in every possible way, pours water on him, puts a bag on his head, and then shoves him into a cage, turns on the music at full volume and hits the cage with a baseball bat, forcing Frank to bark like an obedient dog, but this does not help, and then Christian puts him on his lap and starts slapping his bare ass. Meanwhile, Sigrid realizes that she herself cannot get out of the forest. She takes a stick and returns to the house. Hearing a noise from the barn, she sees Christian torturing Frank. The girl sneaks up on him from behind and hits him with all her might. While Sigrid is trying to help Frank, the guy gets up, takes a bat and hits the girl. After that, he falls to the floor and starts crying. In the next scene, we are shown how Christian is preparing breakfast. Then he pours the food into a bowl and goes down to the cage where Frank is sitting, spitting into the food. He opens the cage and puts the bowl inside. After that, Christian goes to the barn with the second bowl. Sigrid is already sitting there in a dog suit. The girl demonstrates complete obedience to the guy, and then he says that if she is a good girl, then tomorrow he will let her spend the night in the house. Christian, returning to the kitchen, fills a third bowl with food, opens another cage and says, "It's time for breakfast, son," and the sound of children's feet is heard. The end.